I'm Sean White. Today we're meditating on Thanksgiving leftovers. Thanksgiving's right around the corner, and with that comes a cornucopia of food, which usually yields way too many leftovers for a lot of households. Right? I know that's been the case many times around here as well. And you have a couple of options, right? One, you can just toss them, right? You'd be like, I'm done with this, but that's really wasteful, and we shouldn't do that. I'm a huge proponent on not wasting food. You can also just keep making, Thanksgiving plates over and over and over again, just eating the same thing. I know I've been prone to do that. Usually the day after Thanksgiving on that Friday, I like to get a new video game and just spend the day playing video games and eating leftovers. But what we're going to talk about today is repurposing these leftovers that we have. How can we take this stuff, turn it into other dishes? Now, I like doing this because this is something that I kind of teach and work with clients a lot. How do you take something that you made and repurpose it into something else? This is a very big topic, particularly for if you're single. If you're cooking for one, sometimes it's very hard to cook small amounts, and you end up with a whole bunch of stuff left over. So how can we repurpose this stuff? So that's what we're going to be looking at today. Now, so how I went about this is I essentially kind of made a little bit of a Thanksgiving dinner, right? So you'll see here in the photos, I have my my turkey. Full disclosure, that's a rotisserie chicken. I wasn't going to make a whole turkey for this, but it'll stand in quite lovely for this exercise. And then I have my side dishes. I have some roasted sweet potatoes, some slightly candied carrots. I got mashed potatoes, and I got some herbed cornbread stuffing. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all like this stuff and turn it into other dishes. So let's get started on repurposing Thanksgiving leftovers. Now, the first thing that we're going to do is going to take place before Thanksgiving dinner actually even happens. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a lot of our scraps from our prep work, right? So if we're cutting down onions and we have the ends and the skins, we're going to put those off on the side. Same thing with our celeries. We're going to take the ends off of it, put them on the side. Carrots, potato skins, carrot skins, anything that you have that's not bitter, right? And you don't want to throw in anything that's like bitter, like Brussels sprouts or kale or anything like that. But we're going to take this stuff and we're going to put it in the side. We're going to put it in a bag. We're going to put it in our freezer, because what we're going to do is we're going to use this to make a stock. Now, I do this all the time. We have an ongoing bag that's in the freezer all the time. Anytime we have any sort of vegetable scraps, we put them in there. When the bag gets full, we'll throw it into a pot with about 8 to 10 cups of water, let it simmer for about 2 hours, and you have a really good vegetable stock. Now, if you have a turkey or a chicken, what we can do is after we break down the bird and we end up with some excess of like bones in the carcass and stuff, we're going to throw that into the pot as well, right? So that's what we're going to do. So we're going to start by keeping all of our vegetable scraps off on the side. At the end of Thanksgiving dinner, we're going to take that, we're going to take that carcass. We're going to throw that in the pot with all of our scraps. Let that simmer for a couple hours, and we're going to end up with a really, really great turkey stock that we're going to use in a few of the dishes that we're going to start talking about now. Now, one of the big things that a lot of people do after Thanksgiving is they just make turkey sandwiches, right? It's kind of boring. It's just plain old turkey sandwiches. So what I want to do is I want to kind of mix it up a little bit. We're still going to make a sandwich, but we're going to make a turkey salad sandwich, right? We would do it with chicken, make a chicken salad. We make egg salad. So same thing. We're just going to dice up some onions, some carrots, some celery, some of our turkey, put that in a bowl. I'm going to hit it with a little apple cider vinegar for an acid, a little sugar, a little salt, and then stir in our mayo until we get the consistency that we want. And there you go. You got a nice little turkey salad sandwich. So when I'm thinking about the leftovers that I have, I got mashed potatoes, right? And so what am I going to do with mashed potatoes? I can make a knish if I wanted to. But one of the things that I really love with mashed potatoes is a shepherd's pie, right? So I'm like, well, let me try to make a Thanksgiving turkey shepherd's pie. So I kind of did that. I sauteed down some onion, carrots, celery in some butter, added some herbs, rosemary, thyme, sage, some salt, pepper. Then throw in a little bit of flour to kind of absorb up the butter, make a little bit more of a roux. Add in some of our stock that we made, and this is going to create a little bit of a gravy, right? Because we got that butter, flour, make a roux, a little bit of the liquid makes a gravy. Add in our turkey, and put that in the bottom of a casserole dish, and then top it with our leftover mashed potatoes. Stick it in the oven and bake it until we get a nice little golden brown on the top of the mashed potatoes, and then we go. We got a Thanksgiving turkey shepherd's pie. Now another thing that I love is making a pot pie as well, right? So kind of the same thing like we were doing with the shepherd's pie. We saute down some veggies, some carrots, celery, onion, in some butter. Add some herbs, salt, pepper. Add in some flour and make a roux. Throw in a little bit of our stock to start making a little bit of a gravy. Add in some of our turkey, but we're also going to throw in our roasted sweet potatoes as well. Get all that incorporated in. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit it with a little heavy cream. I'm going to make a little bit more of like a cream gravy, and once we got that, let it reduce down a little bit, get a little thicker, because that's what I really like in a pot pie. You like that kind of heartiness to it. And so then from there, I'm just going to take some pastry dough that I had in the freezer, right? Roll it out. Make a topper first, roll out the rest of it, stick inside my casserole dish, fill it with my filling, put the top on, crimp the edges, put a couple of slits in there so it vents out, stick it in the oven and let it go until the pastry dough gets nice and brown and golden, and there you go. We got a little turkey pot pie action. Now another easy thing to do is to make a soup, right? Because we made all like this turkey stock, right? And so it's a perfect opportunity to use up a lot of that. So same thing like before. We're going to take our carrots, onion, celery. We're going to saute it in the bottom of a pot. Use a little flour because I like to thicken things up a little bit. We're going to throw in herbs, salt, pepper. Start throwing in our stock. Throw in our turkey. Get all that going, just keep building it up, and then once we get a good amount of liquid in there and we bring that up to the boil, well, now I'm going to add in some pasta, right? I'm going to add in a little stars, right? We're going to go turkey and stars action, which is always good for this time of year when the weather's getting cooler. Full disclosure, I added way too much pasta. These are things you got to play around. You got to figure out like how much you got and what you're doing. So you bring the stock up to a boil, add your pasta in, stir it in, let it go for about 7 to 10 minutes, and then turn it off. And there you go. Super simple, an easy way to use up a lot of the leftovers that you have on Thanksgiving, and it's nice to have, and also freezes well too. So if you make a huge batch of soup, you can always throw some in the freezer and hold on to it for like a little while. Now the last leftover that I have not used at all is my stuffing, right? My herbed cornbread stuffing. So I'm like, okay, well, what can you really do with stuffing to transform it into something new, into a new dish? And I was thinking, I really like bread pudding. And I know it's generally, thought of as a dessert, right? It'll be a little bit more on the sweeter side, or I make a really good chocolate bourbon bread pudding, which is, I need to make another one of those soon. I was like, you know what? Let me try making a savory bread pudding. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to take I'm going to take all my stuffing. I'm going to put it in the bottom of a casserole dish, and then I'm going to make a mixture. I got 2 eggs that I beat, beaten down. I'm going to throw in half a cup of my my turkey stock that I made, and then a cup and a half of heavy cream. Whisk that all together. Pour that over the top of my cornbread. I'm going to let it sit for a while so it all absorbs in. And then once it does, I'm just going to take it, throw it in a 350-degree oven, let it cook for about 40-45 minutes, and there you go. You got a savory bread pudding. Now I will say this: I've never made this one before. I know it's a little bit weird. It's a little outside the box. I'm really enjoying it, though. It actually kind of to me is reminiscent of like a bready, a bready quiche in some regards. So it's definitely something that I would give a try again. Like I said, little out there, but something definitely worth trying. So there you go. There's a whole bunch of different ideas that we have for some Thanksgiving leftovers. Really, if you think about it ahead of time, you can do a little bit of meal planning. This is something like mentioned I work with clients with this. How do you take things that you've made, repurpose them? How do you go shopping and buy things and say, okay, well, I'm going to buy these carrots. What am I going to use the carrots for? Well, it can be this, 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 and this. This is what meal planning is, right? Thanksgiving just gives you a little bit of a jump start because most of the stuff's already made or prepped. But if you think about it ahead of time, then you could sit there and go, oh, okay, well, what I can do is I'll have the turkey, I'll have this, I can make this, make your life a little bit easier. And then this way, it also prevents food waste. It'll help it'll help save you a little bit of money, because really everything I made for this episode, I bought a rotisserie chicken, 1 sweet potato, a thing of celery, a thing of carrots, 1 onion, a bag of stuffing that I only used half of. I think really I only spent about $25 on all that stuff, and I probably got about 12 to 13 meals out of it. So you see, it's like at that point in time, it's like really I'm doing $2 a meal because I plan things out, right? I understand where I'm going with it. So that's just something to think about, particularly if you know you're going to have a whole bunch of Thanksgiving leftovers. Start thinking about what you can do with it. That was a couple ideas that I have. I'm not going to put up any recipes per se, because you would need to know exact quantities and stuff to get things right. And with leftovers, it's kind of it can be kind of trickier. But if you want to find out anything more on those, just drop me a line, send me an email, give me a call, and we can discuss some stuff. So hopefully you liked this video. If you did, please click the like button. And if you want to hear more of what I got to say, then subscribe and turn on notifications. Find out when new videos are coming out. And leave me some comments down below. Let me know if there's any really good dishes that you like to make with leftovers after Thanksgiving, or if you're just like, no, I'm gonna trudge through it. I'm just gonna keep eating the same things. Let me know what you think. And until we speak again, be well, be safe, and be kind to everybody.